Now, though, let's cross to the Western Cape. EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu is likely to go to trial next year for allegedly assaulting a journalist. Shivambu appeared in the Cape Town Magistrates Court today on a common assault charge. The trial date will be decided next year, February. ENCA's Monique Mortlock is following that story and joins us now. The EFF seemingly mired in court cases at the moment. Monique, give us an update. What happened in court this morning?
Yes, certainly. We heard from Shivambu's lawyer who told the court that his representations for a diversion and for mediation has been denied by the NDPP. This, of course, means that any negotiations outside of court to settle the matter and not take it to trial have failed. I have asked the journalist involved in the case, Adrian de Kock, whether he is prepared for the trial, and his spokesperson said that they are indeed, or he is ready for the process. It's likely that a trial date will be decided upon on the 11th of February 2020 next year.
Monique, do we know if any offers of settlement were made by the legal representation on behalf of Mr. Floyd Shivambu?
What I can tell you is that negotiations by both parties to settle the matter out of court over the last 2 years, since the incident happened in March 2018, and since a criminal case was opened against Mr. Shivambu, that there have been discussions between both parties to try and avoid what we are going to be seeing now, which is that the matter will be going to court. I can't speculate on any figures or anything else that didn't come out of court or that wasn't said on the record, but what I do know is that those negotiations have been unsuccessful, that the NDPP basically denied those representations made by Shivambu's legal representatives.
We know that the next court date is set for the 11th of February 2021. What can we expect to happen on that date?
What we can expect to happen on that day is probably again another short hearing, as we've been seeing over the last year or so as this matter has been in and out of court. We should be getting a trial date on that day, and maybe even to hear whether this case will be moved to a different court or if it will remain at the Cape Town Magistrates Court. One thing I can say is that there were quite a number of EFF supporters at court today as well, with Shivambu's appearance, obviously throwing their weight behind him, showing him solidarity. They weren't allowed inside the courtroom because of those lockdown regulations, those strict lockdown regulations, which obviously limits the number of people in court. But they waited for him patiently outside, and they followed him all the way outside, and even tried to keep us from asking any questions, or tried to keep us from filming or taking any photographs of Mr. Shivambu. So the EFF clearly showing its support for its deputy president.
Did Mr. Shivambu make any statement or address the followers gathered outside the court?
Well, if he did speak to them, we weren't privy to any discussions. As I said, we tried to speak to him just to hear his thoughts about this next step in this matter, the fact that it's now going to trial. He wouldn't address us, as we know that history between us and the EFF. We do know that he had something to say to his supporters a little ways out of earshot of the media, before he got into his car and drove off, but they applauded him, and it looked as if he gave them a bit of a pep talk just before moving off.
Thank you very much for that update, Monique Mortlock, coming to us from Cape Town.